In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Illustrator to create this cute carrot drawing. The original idea came from the Toots Plus website, and it's by an artist named Ivan Petrusevsky. So in Illustrator, the first thing you need to do is go to File, New, and create a new document. There are several options up here at the top. I'm going to click Web and choose the minimum size. And over here, because carrots are long and skinny, I'm going to change the orientation to portrait instead of landscape. And then click Create. Now I have a nice blank canvas. The first thing that I'm going to do is draw the shape of the carrot. Over here in the tool box, I'm going to click and hold on the rectangle tool and change it to the ellipse. Right now the colors that I have are a white fill and a black stroke, which is an outline. I'm going to click to bring the stroke forward and set it to none. Then I'm going to click to bring the fill forward and I'm going to get a nice orange color. So I'm going to open up the swatches panel, and to get more color choices I'm going to click this side menu open and go to Open Swatch Library, Color Books, and choose Pantone Solid Coated from the list. And then I get this giant palette of lots of really nice colors. And you can pull on the end of the panel to make it a different size. I like to see a lot of colors at once, so I stretch it out really long. So let's choose a nice golden orange color like this, and then I will simply click and drag a long skinny oval, and now I want to adjust this so it looks more of the shape of a carrot. So with the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow, I'm going to click directly on this little blue square, which is called an anchor point. I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard and click on this little blue square too. Then I'm going to simply drag those up to the top so that it's a little more wide at the top and skinnier at the bottom. So next thing that I'm going to do is click on this anchor point directly on the square and then pull this little dot right here, which is the end of the handle. I'm going to move it out this way, and then I'm going to move this one out. I'm going to try to get them approximately equal. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to make this a little longer and a little skinnier by moving the handles in. And then it looks really symmetrical, and I want it to have a little bit more character. So I'm going to grab this anchor point right here and use this handle to kind of move in the side of the carrot a little bit to give it a little bit of a curve. And maybe I'll do the same thing on this side. And you can adjust your carrot however you want in different ways, just to give it a little bit more personality. Maybe I'll move one down a little. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to click off of it. That looks pretty good. The next thing that I'm going to do is draw the face for the carrot. So I'm going to switch the color to black because I want black eyes. So let's see. I'll choose this color right here. So the fill has set to black, but I'm leaving still no stroke. I'll go ahead and choose the ellipse tool again. Hold down Shift to constrain the ellipse tool to a circle and click and drag. There we go, and I'll use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move that into the approximate place where I want it to be. Then there's lots of different ways to copy. One way is to hold down, get the selection tool, hold down Alt, and then click and drag a copy. And I think I'll move that over just a little bit more with the arrow keys. Now I'm going to draw the mouth. So again, with the ellipse tool, I'm going to hold down Shift to make a circle and draw a circle. I'm going to draw another circle approximately the same size above it, and I'm holding down Shift to constrain it. And I'm going to switch this to a different color just so that when I move this with the selection tool, overlap them, I can see the difference, just so they're not both black. So what I'm trying to do is make a little smile down here. That looks pretty good. So with the selection tool, I'm going to draw a box around both of these and use the Pathfinder, which I have to open up from Window, Pathfinder. Here's the Pathfinder panel. I'm going to click the second one over, which is minus front. So it subtracted the orange circle from the black circle, leaving me with this little crescent shape. And the crescent shape is way too big, so I'm going to have to drag it smaller by clicking on the edges and then move it into place. Now that looks pretty cute. Alright, now I'm going to draw some lines across it just to give it a little bit of character. So let's go ahead and choose the brush tool, and I'm going to have the fill set to none and bring the stroke forward by clicking on it. And you could do either lighter lines or darker lines. I think I'm going to try darker lines and see what that looks like. So I'll choose this color here first, and I'm going to open my brushes panel, which is right here, and the brush that I like to use is not a default brush, so I have to open it from this side menu, go to Open Brush Library, Artistic, and choose Ink. If you scroll down towards the middle, here's one that's called Tapered Stroke, so it's pointy at both ends. So click that to select it. Right now it's set at 1 point for the stroke weight. We'll see if that's too thick or too thin in just a moment. So let's start making some lines on here. Looks pretty good. So if it was the wrong size, I could simply open up this menu and I could make it smaller by clicking up here, or make it larger by clicking on these values down here. So let's see, I'm going to draw some more on here. And if you mess up, like that one's not particularly nice, so I'm going to push Control Z to undo that, and I'll try it again. And I think that I need to make them smaller as I go down the carrot, and they will look a little nicer. And maybe one more. Okay, let me try that last one again. Alright, now what I'm going to do is create the top of the carrot. So I'm going to put the stroke to none and bring the fill forward and choose a nice green color for the top of the carrot. So let's say this one right here. I'm going to use the ellipse tool again and click and drag to be the tall part of the top of the carrot. And to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to use the direct selection tool, click right on this anchor point, the square, so I can get the handles. And I'm going to take this handle, drag it out a little bit, and move it in, and then take this handle, let's see here, just want to make it look a little bit, yeah, that looks pretty good. So it's not a generic oval, it has a little bit of interesting shape to it. Alright, now let's make some side leaves on that. So I'll take another oval on this side, get the direct selection tool, click on this path here at the top, drag it down and push it in a little bit. That looks pretty good. Now I will go to the selection tool and rotate it and put that on there. Maybe it's slightly too big. Let's see. Alright, so now I'll click on it to select it, and I'm going to make a copy by going to Object, Transform, Reflect, and because I have Preview on, you can see what will happen to it. It's going to be reflected vertically at 90 degrees, and rather than clicking OK, I'm going to click Copy. So now I have two of them, and I'll move this one to this side. I'll move it up a little bit so it's slightly off center. Now with the selection tool, the black arrow, I'm going to draw a box around all three shapes and use the Pathfinder tool, which I still have open from before, and click Unite. So those are all one object instead of being three separate objects. Now I want it to go behind the carrot. I want the leaves to go behind. So I'm going to open up my Layers panel and click this little arrow to open that so I can see everything that I have done. I'm going to click my leaves and then on the keyboard hold down Control and use the left bracket and just click it over and over again, and you can see that it is gradually getting moved down to the bottom, and there we go. I think I'll center it a little bit more. That looks pretty good. So now all I have to do is go to Save, and I will call it Carrot Justine, and make sure that it's in my correct drive, and then click Save. And I'll accept the defaults and click OK. Then you should use the snipping tool to make a screen capture of this and put it in your portfolio. That's all for now.